I just replaced my entire tech stack with Postgres. Modern software engineering has basically become a subscription management simulator. We've been gaslit by cloud vendors into believing that to build even a basic application, we need to stitch together a fragile distributed web of highly specialized microservices. You wire up a Redis instance for caching, a Kafka cluster for background jobs, Elasticsearch just to power a simple search bar, and a dedicated vector database for that one AI feature you tacked on. By the time you finally deploy your app to your highly demanding user base of yourself and your mom, you're paying a dozen different Y Combinator-backed SaaS startups just to keep the lights on. It is an over-engineered, wildly overpriced trap. But what if I told you that you could take almost all of those shiny cloud dependencies, toss them directly into the incinerator, and replace them with a single piece of boring 30-year-old open source software? The dirty little secret the tech industry doesn't want you to know is that one battle-tested tool can cannibalize your entire architecture. Today, we're stripping your stack down to one unstoppable source of truth: PostgreSQL. Here's how you use Postgres to replace literally everything. Before we start violently dismantling your current architecture, let's look at the weapon that we're using. At its core, PostgreSQL is an open source object relational database system that has been in active development for over 3 decades. Out of the box, it gives you rock solid ACID compliance, meaning when your cheap cloud server inevitably crashes, your user data isn't corrupted. But the real reason it can cannibalize your entire stack is its extensibility. It doesn't just store standard rows and columns. It supports advanced custom data types, multi-dimensional arrays, geometric shapes, and key value stores. This architectural flexibility has led to a massive ecosystem of third-party extensions. It's basically the Skyrim of databases, a rock-solid foundation that you can aggressively mod until it does exactly what you want. Here is how you use it to replace everything. One of the great debates among web developers is SQL versus NoSQL, and the core selling point of NoSQL is handling unstructured data. You no longer need a separate database like MongoDB just to do this. Postgres offers deeply integrated native support for JSON through its JSONB data type, which fundamentally changes how data is processed. The B stands for binary. Unlike standard text storage that must be parsed every time a query is run, JSONB converts your JSON payload into a decomposed binary format at the moment of insertion. The true magic unlocks when you apply a GIN, or generalized inverted index, to this column. An inverted index works exactly like the index at the back of a textbook. Instead of scanning every database row looking for a specific key, the index maps the keys directly to the row IDs where they exist. This allows you to query deeply nested JSON properties instantly and join those documents with traditional relational tables in a single ACID-compliant transaction. You get the exact schema flexibility of NoSQL without sacrificing data integrity. Provisioning RabbitMQ or Redis purely for reliable task distribution introduces massive architectural overhead, but building a queue in a standard SQL database usually leads to deadlocks. Postgres solved this elegantly with its native concurrency control, specifically the for update skip locked clause. When building a background worker system, the traditional problem is that 2 workers might try to grab the same pending job row at the exact same time. One locks it, and the other gets stuck waiting. Adding skip locked changes the physics of the query. It instructs the database engine, grab the first available row, lock it so no one else can touch it, but if you hit a row that is already locked by another worker, don't wait. Just skip it and grab the next one. This turns a standard relational table into a highly concurrent, wait-free message queue capable of processing thousands of jobs per second. While specialized tools like Elasticsearch are mandatory for globally distributed log analysis, using them just to power a search bar in your app is massive overkill. Postgres is fully equipped to power advanced full-text search directly by stripping language down to its mechanical roots using tsvector and tsquery. When you insert text into a tsvector column, Postgres parses it, removes useless stop words, and applies linguistic stemming, so a word like running simply becomes run. Furthermore, you can apply the PG_trigram extension for fuzzy matching, the ability to find accurate results even when a user makes a typo. It does this using trigrams, which simply breaks words down into 3-lettered chunks. If a user misspells PostgreSQL as Postgres with 2 S's, the database doesn't look for an exact match. It finds the overlapping 3-letter patterns and returns the correct result anyway, giving you a highly performant, typo-tolerant search engine without syncing data to a secondary cluster. If you're building an AI app, you might consider paying for a vector database like Pinecone. But keeping vector data separate from your relational data creates an architectural nightmare known as the hybrid search problem. If you need to find documents semantically similar to a user prompt, but only if they were authored by a specific user last week, Querying two different databases and cross-referencing the results over a network is incredibly slow. You can handle this entirely within Postgres using the PG vector extension. It allows you to store high-dimensional arrays right next to your core application data and supports HNSW, or Hierarchical Navigable Small World Indexes. HNSW is a graph-based algorithm for approximate nearest neighbor search that organizes vectors into a multi-layered structure, acting as a high-dimensional skip list. It allows for fast, scalable vector searches by starting at a top layer with few long-range connections and moving to lower, denser layers to refine the search. This minimizes the number of distance calculations needed, allowing the database to rapidly navigate through neighborhoods of similar data points to find approximate nearest neighbors in milliseconds. Ultimately, you can execute this complex vector math natively while simultaneously applying strict relational filters. We've been talking a lot about how powerful Postgres is, but let's be honest. Provisioning, scaling, and managing testing environments for it can still be a massive headache, and that's exactly where today's sponsor, Neon, comes in. Neon is a fully managed serverless Postgres platform built specifically for the cloud. They've fundamentally re-engineered Postgres by separating compute from storage, which unlocks features you just can't get with a traditional setup. My absolute favorite part about Neon is database branching. Just like you branch your code in Git, Neon lets you instantly branch your Postgres database. Want to test a risky schema migration or a complex query? Just click a button, spin up a copy of your database in seconds with all of its data, and run your tests. If you mess up, your prod database remains completely untouched. It completely changes how you handle dev and staging environments. Plus, because Neon is true serverless, it automatically scales compute based on your application's workload and scales down to 0 when it's not in use. You don't have to over-provision servers, meaning you only pay for exactly what you use. Whether you're building a weekend side project or a high-traffic application, Neon makes Postgres feel modern, fast, and frictionless. Click the link in the description to sign up and deploy your first serverless Postgres database on Neon for free in just seconds. A huge thanks to Neon for sponsoring this video. Now back to even more Postgres. If you're building applications that rely heavily on maps or routing, Postgres isn't just an alternative, it is the undisputed industry gold standard. The PostGIS extension transforms Postgres into a spatial powerhouse using the GIST, or Generalized Search Tree Index. If you ask the database to find all coffee shops within a complex geographic polygon, doing raw mathematical distance calculations on every coordinate would crash the server. Instead, a generalized search tree draws simple overlapping bounding boxes around your geographic shapes. The database first checks these simple boxes, instantly discarding millions of data points that aren't even close, and only performs the heavy, precise geometric math on the handful of points that remain. This routinely outperforms standalone GIS systems. On the other hand, when handling massive volumes of telemetry or event logs, developers reach for time series databases. Postgres handles this natively through declarative partitioning and the highly underutilized BRIN, or Block Range Index. Instead of storing billions of logs in one massive table, partitioning transparently splits your data into physical daily or monthly chunks. As long as your logs are inserted sequentially, the BRIN index is a superpower. Instead of indexing every single row like a massive bloated B tree, it only stores the minimum and maximum timestamps for physical blocks of data on the disk. When you query for a specific time range, Postgres reads the BRIN index, instantly skips millions of physical disk pages that don't contain your target timestamps, and scans only the tiny fraction that do. How about for complex dashboards? The knee-jerk reaction is to pipe data into expensive data warehouses like Snowflake. You can bypass this by leveraging Postgres materialized views. A standard view runs its underlying query from scratch every time a user hits the dashboard, crashing your database under load. A materialized view runs the heavy aggregation just once and physically saves that calculated result to the disk. To prevent stale data, Postgres uses the refresh materialized view concurrently command. Provided your view has a unique index, it calculates the fresh analytics entirely in the background, compares the differences, and seamlessly hot swaps the updated rows into place without ever locking out your end users. For years, we've blindly accepted that you need to write and maintain thousands of lines of boilerplate Node.js or Python code just to shuttle JSON between your database and your front end. You can incinerate this entire middleware layer using tools like Postgres or the PG_GraphQL extension. Instead of manually writing a new controller and endpoint every time you add a database table, these tools analyze your schema and automatically generate a fully documented, highly performant REST or GraphQL API on the fly. And before you panic about security, Postgres handles that natively too. By leveraging row-level security, you can write strict cryptographic policies directly in the database that guarantee a user can only ever read or write their own specific rows based on their authentication token. Your database securely becomes your entire backend, eliminating the need for a fleet of API servers. While the just use Postgres philosophy is incredibly powerful, you shouldn't entirely abandon your critical thinking. It isn't a silver bullet. Postgres scales vertically with exceptional grace, but horizontally sharding a monolithic database to handle extreme scale introduces immense complexity. If your application actually needs to ingest millions of telemetry events per second, or requires sub-millisecond in-memory caching for millions of concurrent WebSockets, you absolutely must adopt specialized distributed tools. However, until you cross that threshold of massive enterprise scale, leaning on the core battle-tested mechanics of Postgres to run your entire stack is arguably the smartest and most cost-effective engineering decision you can make. Seriously. To really level up as a software engineer, you have to build hard things. That's why I highly recommend CodeCrafters. Instead of building basic apps, they guide you through building real developer tooling from scratch. You'll write your own working versions of Redis, Git, Kafka, Docker, and even modern AI tools like Claude Code. It completely changes how you understand software. Check the description for a link that automatically applies a 40% discount to your account. Also in the description is a link to my free newsletter where I share exclusive deep dives on system design and real-world backend development, the stuff you won't find in basic coding tutorials.